Hello friends and welcome to yet another episode of Last Week in Microsoft 65. Today I am going to discuss 5 topics as usual. Before I move on, I would recommend you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sing Ventures, connect with me on Twitter and LinkedIn, and also follow my blog singventures.com. So today's 5 topics are consideration for optimized performance in Power Apps, Power Platform weekly issue, and or a newsletter you can say, how to speed up npm install from Sergei, Powerapps editable Excel-like table from Reza Dorrani, and Azure Logic app API call to save a file to Blob storage from Gregor. Before we start, I would say that I missed the last Tuesday's video because I was sick and couldn't do it. So, but I will do it again next week. So stay tuned. Okay. So let's go to the first topic. This is a great article, and I think you should read it if you haven't read till now. Is about how to optimize your Power Apps. When you're building Power Apps, you might have different data sources available to you, like SharePoint, Microsoft Dataverse, SQL on-premise, Azure SQL Online, Excel, or others like Oracle. And depending on the data source and connectors, your Power App performance will vary. So what to consider among these? That is what has been explained in this blog actually in very detail. So you can see how the calls are made. Let's look into the SharePoint part actually. What common issues can be the data size, when we are transmitting back to client is matter. That if there are too much of data rows to be passed on, the Canvas app can actually take some time. Also, if there are too many dynamic lookup columns, then also it can take time. And picture column attachment side will also, give slow response if there are attachments which are very big. So what are the recommendations? And so each source has been described in pretty detail. You should definitely have a look into this if you're building Power Apps. And on, I think if you're building a Power App only for tryout, it's okay. But if you're building enterprise level, you have to go through this before you build your app. Okay. The next one is also related to Power Platform. Basically, it's a weekly issue of newsletters where they highlight some of the interesting blogs they have written. So you can also subscribe to this and get very good articles pre-selected from different MVPs and different other bloggers. So you can see that some 3 have been highlighted here, and there are a lot of here actually which have been, and videos and all those are there. So I think it's a good idea to subscribe to this if you are interested in learning more about Power Apps and what other people are doing, and be updated. Then the third one is a very interesting discussion I saw on Twitter from Sergey. He he said that he wants to speed up the npm install on Windows. Um, so what you need to do is disable anti-malware service executable and disable Windows search. When you npm install, use npm install and SPF solution, it dropped from 300 seconds to just 60 seconds. It's like, I mean, you can imagine 300 seconds. It's a lot of time. And I have experienced the same. When you do run npm install, it takes a lot of time to get the scaffolding ready, or get everything done. So if you can speed it up, that's a great thing. And he has also given a link where it describes how you can completely disable it. Joel Rodriguez, I think he had mentioned this before also, and I think, read it that if you use WSL2 for all Node.js based projects while on Windows, um, then it will be much faster. So you add your project location to search, excluded folders, and seems to work fine. Basically, what he's saying is that you should exclude that particular folder from search, and then of course it will be faster. So that's also a nice tip. So I think this was quite interesting to know if you are also facing not an issue, but basically if you want to speed up the process, and it's like from 5 minutes to 1 minute, that's a quite big improvement for anybody, right? Um, so you can have a look there. Then there was a very great video from Reza Dorrani as usual, and he has explained editable Excel-like table in Power Apps. Basically, you can think of this also as like a grid thing which you see in SharePoint online grid. It works like Excel. So he has explained in very detail, how to implement it and what is the code you need to write, all the formulas and everything. So if you want to have build something like this, just go through the video and you will understand it pretty easily. So that's and you should also subscribe to Reza Dorrani's channel if you haven't yet. And if you're working in Power Apps, I definitely recommend this channel to you because it's quite a great videos he has done and explains it very easily and in a very detailed manner. Okay. The last one for today is from Gregor Suttie. Basically, this is regarding using Azure Logic App API call to save a file to blob storage. He wanted to see if it will be easy to create a logic app to call an API and return data from it, then translate the contents into a CSV file. And he just want to learn, and he has shown the steps how to do it. It was pretty easy. So you can also utilize, and I think blob storage is a great thing to have if you're going to transfer files or data between different environments or sets. We had a question from one of the client that they were using OneDrive for storing Excel files, and those files needs to be transformed to Power BI actually. So they were taking third-party data, generate a CSV, and they were putting it in OneDrive and personal OneDrive, and then from there the Power BI team was reading it. So my recommendation was actually to use blob storage instead of putting it in OneDrive, personal OneDrive, because a person can leave or it can have other issues, right? So this can also be an option that you directly use Logic App to. What he had done is he had written code in JavaScript, but you can use Logic App to create the CSV file and put it in a blob storage. So I think it's a great small thing. And of course, you can also subscribe to his YouTube channel if you want to. And yeah, so yeah, that was it for this week. And hopefully you like it. And as I said before, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sync Ventures, so to be updated on Microsoft 365 topics. So thank you. Thank you for today.